3 times, 4 times. Doing gang things, living super clean. That done came up. Can't control us. 1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control us. 1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control us. Look at you done came up now. Get it how you live, mess the game up now. Ain't messing with yoga, but get the flame up. Hey, used to be Toby, but got your name back now. I see ya, paid under pressure. 25 lighters, got them all on the dresser. If it ain't for you, ain't for you then. If you a lame or a sucker, wanna dress you then. Grown up now, bump the childish ways. Got a wife and a bunch of kids to raise. Punch a clock side, hustle or a business you endure to ensure that all the bills is paid. Slow clap for your homeboy, could've turned out like your homeboy. Been on the same block, cooking up the same rock on the cell block lot with your homeboy. But no, you had vision, you had goal. Brand new you on the old time road, take care of home where you bust your low. Black men don't teach, screaming bunty hoe. Real men talk, real king ways. Still in captivity, but minds ain't slave. Got a little wisdom, boy, you PD grade. Giving out the knowledge on the stoop these days. 1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the folk that have moved up. Even if you had a slow start, screwed up. Used to gang bang, now homie brewed up. Had a little plan, I had them blew up. Look at you like a man right now. Dressed to the T, smelling like a grand right now. And you ain't got nothing from a handout now. Just faith and hard work gets it planned out now. You could've took a bunch of dusty rolls. The hand dealt with a bunch of cards to fold. To stay hot while the world is freezing cold. The same plot, but the story's never old. Slow clap for your kinfolk. Could've been asking what your info. Prosecutor could be trying to do you in for the 2020 twins, so you passing out the info. But no, you had purpose, you had plans. I ain't throwing nothing on Mercedes Benz. Won't impress y'all, don't need no fans. That ain't my God, who is that, man? This real men talk, real king ways. Still in captivity, but minds ain't slave. Got a little wisdom, boy, you peak these grades. Giving out the knowledge on the stoop these days. 1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. Yeah, real man. Sheesh. Yeah.
Malcolm, shalom and shalom. Thank you for joining me.
1 time for my king doing king things. Mom these hoes cause he know he got a good thing. I submit and I cook and I clean and I never hold back on that pop. I'ma let it rain. Made me honest, I got a ring. All praises to the most high, let it sing. A real man able, sister never came. And I ain't going nowhere, this is not a game. Look at you, girl, you lonely right now. Settling for bums instead of men the most high. He provide and protect so he get our respect. And he leading us aboard when them chariots fly. I don't really think you hear me though. You can't cross this bridge on some billy goats. Let them save you in the end like a Seminole. Beers help me, shout let the silly go.
1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men.
Shalom and shalom, sisters and cousins, and praise the Lord. Thanks, it's your favorite housewife, Miss Mono. Did you miss me? I missed you all. I mean, I know I was here last week, but you know, I be missing y'all when I'm not with y'all throughout the day. So first and foremost, all praise to the Most High for gathering us here, for being here, for life, health, and strength. So much going on in the world today. We'll talk about that and what's going on in Babylon. Brew news, shalom and shalom, sis. Leah, shalom, sis. Thank you. The hair is herring. The hair is herring, and we're happy about that. So our main topic, yes, sir. Our main topic, why Boaz don't want your ass, because you'd rather be a queen than a wife. We are going to get into that We have our wickedness of the week as well. We're going to be talking about paternity fraud and how some of y'all be just picking random men for your baby daddy just so he can pay child support. We're going to get into that. And we have our What's Going On in Babylon segment. Angelina, Shalom and Shalom, sis. Thank you all for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live here at the House of Mono. If you're watching via Facebook, please head over to the YouTube at Monologue Magad, MONOLOGMAGAD. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a cousin, tell your mama, tell everybody about why Boaz don't want your ass. All right, and I'm so sorry. Hold on, I messed up. Yes, the mic is all in my way. I know y'all see that. I messed up. I'm so sorry. I didn't have my hubby's pickup here. Let me put it up. Yes, there we go. There he is. Okay. All right. Shout out to my wonderful, illustrious, oh so wonderful husband, Monologue Magad, who, after the Most High, literally without him, none of this would be possible. So I just owe him a lot of thanks and a lot of praise and a lot of things that y'all don't need to know about. Okay, so what's going on in Babylon? The first thing I wanted to bring up, a few weeks ago, we talked about women in reality television and the frequency of their fraud cases. Well, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but British Williams, the latest housewife or reality show star, whatever, to be indicted in a fraud case, has been indicted with more charges. She got 5 or 6 more charges, I think, for insurance fraud. And when I read the article, she was charged with identity theft, wire fraud, you know, the usual stuff. And it's just really sad to me because to me as an outsider, it looks like they get into this fraud to build up this life to get, you know, to that level, because the thing about reality TV is these women's lives are supposed to be aspirational. Yeah, I know. I was sad for her too. Because I was watching the show last week and they showed where she had just got the ankle monitor put on because she went to Houston without permission. So they put an ankle monitor on her. So, but now there are additional charges added. And like I was saying, I feel like they do this to get to this certain aspirational level and end up on reality TV. But call me old school, call me crazy, but if I know I'm committing crime, I'm not going on TV and handing the government my case. I'm not. The thing about it is they talk about their finances on the show. The whole point of the show is to show their luxury and how they live in this and how they live in that. But it's all built on fraud. Do you not think that if you get up in front of national television talking about how much money you make and how great your life is, that nobody's going to look into that? That nobody's going to be asking any questions? It's really crazy. So, no, like real talk, I know she was wrong for the fraud, but at the end of the day, I am praying for the sister. I really, really am. Stephanie79, thank you for joining me on my IG. If you want to head over to the YouTube, it is at Monologue Magad, MONOLOGMAGAD. Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and tell a friend. Yeah, the FBI's they are, because that's what I remember them saying. That's what they did to Jen Shaw from Salt Lake City and Teresa Giudice. If you remember, though, I don't know how many of y'all watch Real Housewives of New Jersey, but I mean, they were actually flashing cash. Teresa had a whole house built, fully furnished and everything. So yeah, they are going to go through everything with a fine tooth comb. So we'll be praying for that sister. Okay, the second thing I wanted to bring to y'all, this is a little really it's important and it's kind of serious. You don't hear a lot of media coverage on it, but I happened to be watching Fox News yesterday or the day before, one of these days. I watched Fox News. I told y'all that. I already know what CNN is going to say. Okay, I already know the left angle. I want to know what the right is saying. I want to know what the other people are saying. But they did mention the Cop City protest downtown Atlanta. If you don't know about Cop City, the issue with Cop City is it's supposed to be a complex where they practice urban warfare, high risk urban type situations. Okay. The problem with it is the area that they want to build it in is a heavily tree. I don't know what to say because it's not a forest. Okay. But it is a dense area of trees. And this area prevents flooding in the surrounding areas. And also, they would be displacing homeless people. Okay. And the elderly who actually own their homes in that area. Because nobody wants Black Hawk helicopters and police sirens and how to use those right. Like nobody wants that going on around where they live, even in a simulation. So even if they're not coming in and threatening eminent domain to take your house, who wants to live around that? And it's not like it was there and these people moved there. No, they're actually building this place. So it's so many issues here, mainly the issue of gentrification. It's gentrification all over again. And we need to really, I don't know how long y'all have been here in Atlanta, but I came in the 90s. I got here in like 92. And this is when Atlanta was still becoming the Black Mecca. Okay. It became the Black Mecca. And now, if you go downtown, just ride around downtown where we how can I say this? Where Black people are being displaced, and you will see that they have signs asking people to come out and support the destruction of the historic Black areas in Atlanta. They're totally trying to wipe us out of Atlanta. I don't know any other way to look at it. Why would you want to destroy Black history? The MLK Center, Auburn Avenue, like why would you want to destroy this? So yeah, I'm not suggesting anybody go out there and join a protest. That's not what I'm saying. But this is something that we need to be looking at. And I don't know. It's a hot mess, but keep your eyes on it. All right. For our last segment, what's going on in Babylon? What was I watching? I don't remember. I was watching something on television, okay? And there was a man dressed as a woman. That's what I'm gonna call it. Okay. A man dressed as a woman fighting biological women, like arguing with them and actually fist fighting with them. Okay. And some of y'all might be like, well, if that's what those women want to sign up for, then that's fine. But what we have to consider now is if we're letting men, biological men with their biological body parts, beat up on biological women, what's to stop a biological man just because he's not in a dress? Because remember, there's no minimum to identify as a female. They don't say you have to have long hair. You don't have to be wearing makeup. You don't have to be. You can just walk out and say, today I'm a girl. Not even today. At 8:16, I'm a girl. At 8:17, who knows? Okay. That's the gender fluidity that they want everybody to accept. What about the trans teen? He beat up 2 girls because one of them didn't accept his apology when he stole her. And that's what I'm saying. Okay. So what's to stop a regular man from beating on you if we're letting these men in dresses beat on women? And here, I hate reality TV. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's getting to the point where I hate it because it is just it's like it's the beacon for evil and everything that is wrong with us. And see, here's the thing. Before it was reality TV and it was soap operas, these were just TV characters. I don't know if y'all watch those shows with your grandma. It was a long time ago, I know, but you had the Susan Lucci and the Erica Kane, and I forgot Diane Carroll's name in Dynasty. Something Devereaux. I know her last name was Devereaux. Okay, but these were soap operas. So these were just characters. But even then, you didn't have men beating on women. Okay. So, but now what you have is these people on TV putting this on television. They're giving this a stage. So now, what? God forbid this happen to any of you. But what's to stop your husband from bopping you upside the head? And when you call the police, he can just tell them, well, I identify as a girl. So it's, it's not a man beating on a woman. It's another kind of domestic violence. It's still domestic violence because it's two people that live together. Okay, but let's get beyond that. What's to stop a man from coming up to you in the street and bopping you upside your head? What's to stop some boy from attacking your daughter at school? You understand what I'm saying? It's just getting out of hand. Like this equality is bullshit. And it's the destruction of us all, because I don't care what you say, what you do, how many hormones you take, how much they chemically castrate. I don't care about any of that. The fact of the matter is, all things being equal, a biological man is stronger than a woman. We all know this was the thing. This is why men were so macho and had the bravado, and they were supposed to protect us. They were the ones that went to war, not us. It's the men out there working on the cars, and you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not against females being self-sufficient in that time of need. Like, my 17-year-old, I wish she knew how to change a tire, but we do have AAA for that. Okay. So I'm not against females being self-sufficient. But when it gets to the point where you feel like you can do everything a man can do, now we have a problem. Now it's a problem. And I don't think these women understand what they be saying. Okay, but look, we're going to get into that some more in our main topic. Okay, let's move on. Because I can talk about that all night, Lord. All right, wickedness of the week. And yes, this is extremely wicked. I can't believe what I heard. So, and I'm not saying this is new, but it's coming to the forefront now. The amount of cases of paternity fraud that are going on around here, and the amount of men that are being forced to pay child support for children that are not even theirs. Okay. And I'm sorry, y'all. I don't have the video. It's been a crazy week for us. So, but there's an actual video of a man who had like 2 or 3 DNA tests to prove that this child was not his, but the court was still holding him responsible and making him pay child support. Another man had to pay the state back because the mama was on welfare and she had to tell them somebody was the daddy. So she put this man's name down. They never even had sex. She put the man's name down, and now he's on the line for this child support. And I just can't for the life of me understand how. I just don't understand how in your conscience you can do that. I don't get it. I mean, I guess it's for the money, but I'm sorry, I still don't get it. I'm exactly, Leah. That's what I said. What the? You just go around ruining people's lives? You just ruining people. And it's like nobody fears any kind of retribution. There's no fear of anything. They just do what they want to do. And when you look at something like this, how can you deny when Black men argue about the propping up of Black women, even in their wrong? How Black women never have to take accountability for their wrong. And again, I'm not talking about all of us, but the fact of the matter is that this is going on. Okay. It's more, there are more cases that aren't reported. There's more cases that aren't talked about. Okay. You have women out here, even when the men are trying to do the right thing, they still want to give them a hard time. They still want to talk all kind of, and treat them any kind of way. And what I'm going to say is I'm going to need y'all to make up y'all mind, damn it. Make up your mind. You get a good one and you treat them like crap, but then you get a sorry one. Come on. I just don't understand. Like, these men are losing their jobs. They're having their driver's license taken and they're spending time in jail. I can't fathom it in my head lying like that and ruining someone's life that way. And then you want to say, well, it's out of my hands now. It's up to the state. No, but if you would have never went and lied, they would have never been in a position to do that to him. It's horrible. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourselves. And that's all I'm at liberty to say about that. Because I just don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Okay, so on to our main topic. You'd rather be a queen than a wife. Okay, so I don't know about them going like to civil court later on and suing. I would imagine they could, but the fact of the matter is, one, the women shouldn't be lying, and two, why is the government upholding this? There have been cases of men who have proved like this is not my child. I never had sex with this lady, whatever. Why is the government upholding this? Why are these judges allowed to keep these men on the hook? It's like, look, we don't want to pay for this little bastard, so we'll let you pay for it, even though that's literally what's going on. Because these women are going to sign up for welfare, EBT, or whatever, and when they're asked who the father is, then it's time to lie because it's against our black men. That's the only explanation for it. That is the only explanation for it. And again, Black women are at the root of it. Why? Weaponizing the government against our men? Why are we doing that? Y'all lame for that. That is really, really sick. And I will say this to the brothers. Be careful who you lay down with. Please. And even more so, be careful who you share your seed with. Like, we shouldn't be having sex until we're married, true. And I get it. Marriage is not 100% guaranteed because there have been married men who have been dogged out. But at least give yourself a fighting chance, bro. At least give yourself a fighting chance. Ma'am, sis cousin, if you see he don't take care of his other kids, he's not going to take care of yours. He's not. He's not going to love you that much that he's just going to neglect all his other children and only take care of yours. Nope. Now, barring some ridiculous circumstance, I wouldn't, I wouldn't even take that dive. Okay, but let's get on to our main topic now. You'd rather be a queen than a wife. And this has been bothering me for a while. I hate when people call me queen. I hate that. It's almost an insult. Because that word is just thrown around for everything. They call men queens. I mean, they call whores queens. They call Lizzo a queen, and look at her. I don't call me that mess, okay? But let's get into it. And I know some people be like, well, queen is just the king's wife. Well, that's not true because the actual term for a king's wife is the queen consort, not the queen. If you even just go back to Queen Elizabeth, she was a queen by birth. You're only a queen by birth, okay? So it's not that she married Philip. No. She was a queen. He married her, and he was the king consort, okay? So it's not, oh, I just married him. No, that's not it. Okay, hold on. Let me read these comments and then we're going right. And you shouldn't even want a man that will leave his kids for you. But let me get to the topic. Thank you, sis. But facts, and you're right, Leah. You shouldn't. Jacob, wake up. Shalom and shalom. Okay, I'm gonna just go down because I did do definitions. And I will have you know that upon research, the original meaning of the word queen was actually reserved for a woman of low birth. Later on, it got changed into a title for nobility. But I want to talk about the problem with it because when you take on this queen title and you start calling yourself a queen and I'm a queen and I'm this and I'm that, what you are inferring is that you are a ruler. You are a ruler of your home, of your, whatever's going on. First and foremost, you don't see queens in the Bible, okay? You don't see that. The only time you do see it is with Esther, when she replaced Vashti. Okay, but that was not an Israelite marriage. He was not an Israelite. Okay, so but when you don't see, like, Abigail, David's wife, was not called Queen Abigail. She was just Abigail. Bathsheba, after she became David's wife, she wasn't called Queen Bathsheba. She was just called Bathsheba. Okay, so that's not something that our people have culturally done. All right. I need What I need for us to understand is anything with two heads is dysfunctional, right? And what you can't expect is for you to walk around and esteem yourself as a ruler and want another man to come and fight you for that, not another man, but want a man to come and fight you for that spot. Um because when the right man comes in, he's not coming in to play pity pat or second fiddle to you and your wants. The right man that's going to come in is going to come into your life to bring God's purpose and to carry out his vision. Let's be real. That's why we're called help meet. We are there to help them carry out the vision that God has given them for their life. Okay. In business, in family, in everything, in community, and work, whatever he is involved in, ma'am, sis, cousin, as a help meet, you are to be right there by his side as much as possible. Now, for some of us, that looks like staying at home. Like, my part of being a help me is staying at home, educating our children, making sure the house is clean, clothes are clean, food is cooked. That's my help. Okay. That's how I'm helping. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like, sometimes I want to get up and get a job, and sometimes I want to be out. I miss adult interaction. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I do get a little bug in me, and I'm like, I wonder. But what I have to remember is I didn't sign up for my program. Okay. Earthly, I signed up for the monologue program. I signed up to do what monologue is doing. I signed up to be a help me to monologue when I married him. I didn't marry monologue to keep living Ray Chanet's life. And I think that's what we fail to understand. And while I'm not discouraging careers and everything like that, by all means, I understand you need a job. And by all means, if you have a direction, go to college, get a trade. Yes, you have to be financially self-sufficient. I understand that. But what I'm saying is, now when that man comes into your life and you're saying, okay, I want this to be my husband, you're saying, I'm going to pivot, I'm going to shift everything that's going on in my life to accommodate this man and our future family. And if that's not your attitude, ma'am, sis, cousin, you have no business being married. Getting married, you have no business dating, because you're not looking to be married if you're looking to continue your program on your own. Okay? And I hate to say this, but I feel like it needs to be called out. I feel like a lot of women who esteem themselves as queens go out and find less dominant men to be with because they'll let them do what they want to do. They'll let them act how they want to act. They'll let them push them around. Why else would you want a man who can't protect you, who can't correct you? And here's what y'all don't understand: correction is protection. Okay, if he did not love you, he would not bother to try to present you as a spotless bride. That is his job. That's what he's supposed to do. He's there to refine you, to get all that worldliness out of you. And if you can't respect your husband in that role, you got a whole nother set of problems. You want to be, let's be real, a lot of y'all want to be the man of the house. A lot of y'all think you have the penis and you wear the pants. And that is not God's order. Nothing is going to work like that. And I don't care how much y'all want to deny it, how much you want to say, no, that's not true. You're not going to lie to me. I'm a woman, and I know we are led by emotions, okay? Not to mention, as you get older, those hormones and those emotions start to wear on you a little bit more. And that's a little bit more that you have to fight. So what makes you think that you are able to logically, successfully lead a family? And I've struggled in this area too. So I'm not going, I say this to y'all all the time. I'm not preaching from a pedestal. I'm telling y'all stuff that I had to learn, that I am still learning. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, I'm the perfect wife and I don't never try my husband or nothing. No, I do sometimes. Sometimes my attitude get out of control. Sometimes I might make a face or something like that. Okay. And then when he comes to correct me, I have to accept that. I have to acknowledge that. Here's a problem with being alone for so long. You forget about your outward expressions. Like I'm a face maker. Okay. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I make faces. Lonnie Clark, shalom and shalom. Thank you for joining me. I'm a face maker. I can't help it. You say something I don't like, I'm gonna make a face. Sometimes I forget that my husband is watching me. Or I feel like this is my internal dialogue. You know what I'm saying? But like he'll tell me, you can't do something and not expect a reaction from the person that's there and or the person that it's directed to, most importantly. You know, and this is the stuff that you too. Okay, thank you for confessing this. And this is the stuff that again we're not taught about marriage. This is the stuff that unfortunately, like me, you learn, once you're already in it, and that's cool as long as you learn it. But what I'm saying is, ma'am, sis, cousin, you can't go around esteeming yourself as more than your man or any man for that matter. Some of y'all put yourselves up on such a pedestal that you're unreachable to anyone. You come in with this list of qualifications for the man that you want. And if he does not meet one thing on that list, he's gone. But then you want to complain about, oh, I can't find a man. I can't meet a man. Ain't no good man around. No, it's a couple good ones around, but that one wasn't tall enough. This one's car wasn't new enough. And it's always silly physical things. I've seen it too many times and I have done it myself. Okay. It's always silly physical things. Oh, he lame. He this, he that. What stupid things that we tell ourselves to avoid taking accountability, looking in the mirror and examining ourselves and seeing, okay, God, what do I need to improve? What's wrong with me? Because listen to me, ma'am, sis, cousin, if a man is coming to you with everything like he's supposed to, and your issue is, oh, he's lame, oh, he's too nice, then you need to examine yourself. I don't think people, we get this idea that marriage is like, oh, it's a happy time and we're fun and we're together and we get to have sex and we get to go on date nights and I got somebody to take pictures with. And no. Listen, when you get married with the intent to fulfill God's purpose, it's more than that. It's a lot more than that. Okay. Iron sharpening iron doesn't just apply to your man and his friends. That applies to you too as well. You are supposed to be improving each other, refining each other, please, Leah, that's my girl. Send me that clip, tag me in it, please, when you make it. You're supposed to be helping each other. Ma'am, sis, cousin, you don't have all the answers. I know they try to make us think that we can go out here and we can be independent. No, because every woman in the world still needs a man. You still need a man. You are not a complete and whole being by yourself. And it's funny to me how women will say, I don't need a man. I'm independent. But then you'll go and pay for sperm. You'll pay for the sperm. Instead of just finding a good man and getting married and being submissive to that man and having a family. You so bad don't want to answer to a man. You so bad just have to be so independent that you will go and pay for something that is in abundance for free. And that makes no sense. Like I said before, that's a sign that something is wrong. If you're paying for something that should be naturally occurring, that's the sign of a problem. But see, what you can't do is you can't walk around like you're the end all be all and expect somebody to come in and a man to come in and sit up under that. Because listen, any man that's coming in and sit up under a woman, he ain't making no money. He's not making any money. He's not successful in his peer group. He was probably bullied all his life or something like that. Okay? I love one of the reasons I love my husband is because he makes me feel safe. No matter what. Physically, spiritually, emotionally, he makes me feel safe. Even when I feel like my hormones are just raging, he makes me feel safe. I know I can go to my husband, baby, I don't feel good. Can you pray for me? Or the kids don't feel good. Can you pray for them? And I don't give it a second thought. And it's not because I have faith in my husband, it's because I have faith in the Most High. And I know my husband's relationship with him. Okay. But you want to insert yourself in between your husband and the Most High. And ma'am, sis cousin, that is a very dangerous place to be. Like, how dare you assume that role as the head of your household, the head of your life? Ma'am, sis cousin, you are the head of nothing. You're not the head. Okay. Let's get that clear. I don't understand why everybody feels like they have to be in charge. Listen here. If something pop off at my house, something happened a few months ago. I don't remember what it was. I think it was something downstairs with the dogs. But I laid my butt right there. I was like, husband, can you go see what's wrong? I mean, I had the pew pew right there. So, if anything popped off, I was ready. But I'm not going out there. What I look like? They're not even going to be scared of me. They'll be scared of him. They're not going to be scared of me. And on a spiritual front, some demons just ain't going to be scared of me. They'll be scared of him. That's just the way it is. And I know a lot of y'all not going to like this. Oh, because in the 90s, in the wave of Black female evangelism, we were all taught that, and some of us were even told, and I've heard women be told this, that they were the spiritual head in their marriage and that they're more spiritually powerful than their husbands, and that they are, in effect, the head of the household. How dare you? How dare you? That is a lie from the pit of hell, and it has led to nothing but the destruction of our families. Why can't we see this, especially when the divorce rate in the Black church is so high? And now you got a bunch of single women that really just come to congregate with each other at church. That's it. And it's been the same complaint for over a decade now. So why can't we figure out that maybe this isn't right? And gossip. Exactly. They come to church to congregate and gossip and get their emotional release and to be pumped up. And I don't even want to say edified because it's not edification. They come to be emotionally pumped up to escape accountability for their issues because nobody's taking them to task about their bull crap, about their attitudes. Listen, I know a lot of us suffer from RBF. I do too. Okay. If people ask, what's wrong with you? Why your face like that? Nigga, I don't know. I'm just chilling. Okay. But when you're out in public or even when you're with your husband or the man you're dating or whatever, like you got to chill with that. Nobody wants to be around that all the time. I don't want to have to look at you all the time and assume something's wrong. And I'm not saying that you have to be walking around with a smile on your face all the time, but are you serious about getting married and staying married or not? This is the thing nobody wants to talk about. Leah, I just be chilling. This is the thing nobody wants to talk about, the work that it takes to get married and to stay married. And we got to start with our attitudes. You know, we like to say, oh, it's not all about you. It's not all about you. But let's examine what that means. Because when you're talking about someone who sees themselves as a queen, that's what goes with their attitude. In my world, it's all about me and everything is about me. And if I don't like it, then I'm not doing it. And if it doesn't please me, then it's not going on. And that is so freaking faulty. You will never get anywhere with that. But see, what we fail to acknowledge is, oh, hold on. That's why the majority of most men don't go to church. Exactly. What we fail to acknowledge is, in an honest, healthy relationship, it's supposed to be all about the other person. To me, it's all about my husband. And to my husband, it's all about me. That's how it's supposed to be, okay? Angelina, don't be laughing at Leah. She be praying for her. That's how my mom was growing up, very arrogant. The single black mom. It's the single black mom. Like, I don't want to call it a trope, but it's the single black momness. Let's just be real. I understand the resentment. I was a single mom. I was a single black mom, okay? I understand it. I understand the ridicule from people outside looking in who don't know, how you ended up a single mom or whatever. They just judge you for being a single mother. I get it. I get the stress and the struggle of every day. I get it. And now as an adult looking back, I see the stress that my mom was under, and I see, the burden she had to take on. And now being a mom myself, not just the burden of her, but the burden of 2 children with no help. Okay. So I get that. But when we take that and try to make it our children's fault, that's the problem. These kids didn't ask to be born. These kids did not ask for you to lay down with that sorry nigga and make them. Okay. But they're here now. All right. They don't deserve your behind to kiss. They don't deserve your attitude and your anger that you're feeling towards their father or the man that won't date you because you're a single mom. Your kids don't deserve that. They didn't ask for that. Okay. And let's take that. Some of y'all are out here trying to date and you're a single mom. Kudos, congratulations. But this new man is not going to repair all the mistakes that your baby daddy or whoever else made. That's not his job. Now, I will say this, ma'am, sis cousin, if you happen to luck up like I did, if you happen to get blessed like I did, if you happen to find you a good man, he's going to stand beside you and he's going to pray you through all of that, okay? Because it's not easy. And me and my husband went through hell. And I can say that it was like 90%. I'm going to take 90% of the blame for this shit we went through in the beginning of our marriage. Why? Because a lot of it was me not knowing how to combine my life with someone else's, not knowing how to trust this man. Even though I married him, I still had to learn to trust him to provide for us, take care of us, cover the bills and all this other stuff. Okay. And so, while this is stuff that you're supposed to learn about your spouse while you two are both single, we're going through this with children already. Children from his previous marriage and my children. Okay. And that adds more to it now, because not only do I have to learn to trust you to pay bills and to provide, I have to learn to trust you with my children and to care for them and to provide for them. I gotta watch out for them and make sure that they're not feeling lost in this marriage. And that is a hard thing to do. I'm gonna be honest with you. That is hard. Okay. So, but what you need during those times is a man who knows how to pray, a man who knows how to set order, a man that can talk to your spirit and tell you to shut up, and you'll shut up. But I'm not saying that, I'm not condoning abusive language. Please don't take it there or anything like that. And I'm not, if you married a man and he tells you to shut up, then you should shut up. Okay. Um, there's no other way around it. If you don't feel like this man has your best interest at heart, if you feel like he would just tell you to shut up for no reason, then you shouldn't marry him. Okay. Yes, shut up. That's what some of us need to do. Shut up. um, I was having a conversation on Facebook, and it was about that issue. And I said, I know my husband has my best interest at heart. Now, I'm not talking about during one of our little tiffs or disagreements, but I will say, if we're in an argument, he tells me to shut up, more than likely I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up. But when he leave, I'm gonna start talking again. But if my husband is at the point where he's telling me to shut up and we're arguing, that means he's reached some level of anger that I'm not interested in exploring anymore. So I just pretty much leave it at that. And I hate to say this, but I am going to. My previous situations, relationships, or whatever, have made me a little more cautious with dealing with men in their anger. Okay. I've had a man punch me in my face. Okay. I've had a man punch me in my face. I don't want to feel that again. I I've been beat on and abused. I don't want to feel that again. And I'm not saying that my husband would do that to me. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is, y'all need to learn to respect a man in his anger. Okay. For whatever reason. If it's directed towards you, if it's directed towards somebody else, respect that man in his anger. If he's telling you, hey, stop talking to me for a minute, stop talking to him for a minute. Unequal yoke. I don't know what you mean by that, Lonnie. But right, when he leave, I'm gonna be talking. I'm gonna shut up. But when he leave, I'm gonna be talking again. Exactly, because I'm gonna show him that respect. I'm gonna show him that respect. Again, not out of fear. You understand what I'm saying? And here's the problem. See, because when you hold yourself a queen and you hold yourself equal, when that man asks you to keep it down, you're not gonna keep it down. You're not gonna shut up. You're not gonna wait for him to walk away. You're gonna keep on talking. And this is where we get into problems and conflicts. And a lot of y'all might be like, well, that's not fair. That's not fair. If you can't respect the order, then you would say that it's not fair. And here's the thing. We don't want to accept the word of God for what it says. We want to insert our personal feelings. Like in this age of equality, oh no, the man's not the head. My feelings matter just as much as his logic, and that is a bunch of. The man is the head. Okay, this is something that you got to learn to accept. So he comes first. When he says stop talking, we stop talking. Now I'm gonna walk away and I'm gonna pray about it. And if I feel led at a calmer time, I will bring this to his attention and we can discuss. Okay. But what I'm not going to do is keep trying to talk to an angry man, because first of all, he's not hearing you. He's not hearing you. And here's the thing. When that man gets angry and his energy go up, okay, and you feel like you just as equal to him, now you feel like you gotta match, you gotta up his energy. Okay. And let me tell you something, ma'am, sis cousin. You ain't never gonna, you don't have more energy than him. You don't. You don't, not even in your Not even in your the man has reached his boiling point when he said, exactly. Not even in your, what was I getting ready to say? Not even in your yelling. And again, I feel like this is why some of y'all go out and get these soft behind punk ass niggas, and I'm gonna say it like that, because that's what y'all call them behind their back when you talking to your friends and stuff. Look at this punk ass nigga. That's what you say. So let's just continue to keep it funky, okay? That's why some of y'all go out here and get these little soft behind boys, because you can talk to them any way you want to, and you want to feel like you in charge. Meanwhile, you leading the whole house down the wide path to hell, but you want to feel like you're in charge. So when this man asks you something, tell you something, you can't be bothered to oblige because it's all about you. Not the acronym, Leah. I can't. PANs. That's what we're going to start calling them PANs. Okay, thank you. Okay, so you don't want to give the right away because you feel like, again, it's all about you. You're in charge. Everyone in your world is there to cater to you. And that's just not true. Oh, hold on. I remember back in the day trying to yell at a nigga and lost my voice. Girl, listen, when me and my husband first got married, okay, and I called myself trying to yell at him, I did the same thing. I was like, you know what? I can't. Right. Learn quick. You cannot win. You can't win. And I wouldn't choose a man whose voice couldn't move me. Like, you want a man that can speak peace to your spirit, but you don't want to respect that man's authority when your spirit doesn't agree with what he's saying. And you can't have it both ways. That authority, it is ever present. And listen, I'm not saying it's always easy to deal with. I say this all the time. I am not coming from y'all. I'm coming to y'all from a pedestal as a perfect wife. I'm coming to you as a woman and a wife and a mother and a servant of the Most High who is still learning on a daily basis, okay? So I'm not talking down, punching down on anyone, okay? But we all have to realize that the authority is not just there for our using. It's not just, oh, I'm having issues with my mental health. Honey, can you pray for me? And now you want his authority to send the demons away. All right. But when you acting like the demon, you don't want to submit to the authority. That's not how that works, sis. That is not how that works. The authority is there all the time. If you're not ready to submit and relinquish that authority, then don't get married. But not only do you miss out on what you're afraid of, you miss out on what could be the best part of your life. I'm going to tell y'all, like me getting married and submitting to my husband and working on that has been the best part of my life. Did I say it was easy? Absolutely not. It's not easy. I had to totally change who I was, to the point that when my aunts, uncles, and cousins came down here to visit us for the first time after we had got married, they all kept telling my husband, I don't know what you did to her, but she's changed. She is so calm. I don't know what you did to her. I don't know what you did to her. And I'm like, oh my gosh, y'all, was I that bad? You know, I didn't think I was that bad. But the way they were acting is like I was just, and maybe I was. I don't know. I didn't have a mirror. I didn't have anybody to check me at the time. But that's the thing about marriage. It's a mirror. It's a mirror. Because like I said, now there's somebody there to react to your actions. And that's a mirror for your, it really is. Mahaya Johnson, shalom and shalom. Thank you for joining me. That's a mirror for your behind, because now you can't get away with stuff. You have somebody there. Wait, Leah, I'm done with you. Am I the villain? I don't think I'm. Am I the drama? I'm gonna tell you, yes, we're the drama. Okay, we are the drama. Like I was saying, you don't have somebody there to check your actions. You don't have someone there to check your thoughts. A lot of times I'll say something to my husband and he'd be like, that's not right. And I'll be like, but why? And he'll very logically explain to me why that's not right. And the logical part of my brain has to accept it, even when the emotional part of my brain doesn't. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know how we women can sometimes get very petty, very catty, a little vengeful, very, quick to snap. But you need that man to reel you in. You need the man to say, that's too much, baby. We're not doing that. And see, here's the other thing. A lot of y'all want to marry men with a good name. Thank you, Leah, for sharing that. Like, seriously, it's nice to know I'm not the only one. A lot of y'all want to marry a man with a good name. All right. You want your man to be this in Israel, and you want your man to be that, and he got, but you don't want to respect the name that he's worked for. When he takes you as a wife, now people are judging him by you. Do you think that people don't get on this channel to look at me and talk about my husband? Of course they do. And that's okay, because I try my best to give them something to talk about. Okay? Something good. And that is what you should be doing as a wife. All right? It is your job to protect your husband's good name. It is your job to further your husband's good name. All right? It's not for you to and it's, let me tell you something. As the wife of a business owner, it gets hard. It gets hard, okay? Because my husband deals with a lot of females, a lot of single females. And he tells me that, they make little slick comments. And he don't tell me every time because he don't want to drive me crazy. But when we talk, he'll tell me they make little slick comments. They come on to him and stuff like that. So when I answer the phone for business purposes or whatever reason I'm answering the phone, I can't talk crazy to these women because they're helping pay my bills. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't talk crazy to them as much as I want to. That would be an embarrassment to my husband. And some of y'all want to be the first lady, but don't know the first thing about being nice to anybody. You want to be the first lady, but can't manage to put a smile on your face if you're having a bad day. Let me tell you something. There are a lot of bad days. I'm going to be honest with y'all. There's days when it's a struggle for me to come down here and do this. But I do it out of obedience to the Most High. Some of y'all you won't even get up and make your husband breakfast. You won't get up and wash this man clothes. How long? Listen, I'm guilty of this. All right, I'm going to tell y'all something. I do not match socks. I don't match socks. I don't know why. It was a thing. I just don't like to do it. But my husband, like, hey, I can't find no socks. I can't find no socks. And I got tired of him having to look for socks every day. So now I'm making a conscious point to match the socks. Some of y'all will let that man complain for years and years and years. And you might be, yes, it is random. It is random. And you might be thinking that, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But it's something that affects his everyday life. And I know me, like when I'm getting ready to do something, I just want to do it. I want to go, I want to put my clothes on, and I want to go ahead, especially if I have to work or it's something that I don't necessarily enjoy doing. I want that process to be as smooth as possible. I want to find my stuff and I want to, I want to get it going. Okay. But if I got to stop every day to find socks, and it's not my fault, if somebody else is doing my laundry and I got to stop every day to find socks, I'm going to be upset too. Yes, that's aggravating. But you can't understand that coming from your man. So you'll keep on playing with him and playing with him. You should answer the phone and play your bird song. We want smoke. I can't do that. I can't do that. Leah and Angelina, I'm going to have to keep y'all separated. I'm going to have to separate you two. I cannot with the socks. Why is this so funny? I don't listen because I just had to give an example. And yeah, the sock thing is funny, but it wasn't funny to him at the time. You know what I'm saying? He was getting frustrated. Like every day I got to come and look for socks. But now, no, he has a drawer full of socks. So all praise to the Most High for that. But on a more serious issue, when you think it's all about you and you think the world revolves around you, you don't consider other people's feelings. You have no empathy for anyone else. Even the man that you claim that you love and you've dedicated your life to, you don't care about his complaints. You don't care that he don't like ketchup on his burger, he gonna keep putting ketchup on that burger. And if he don't want ketchup on his burger, he should make his own. And if he don't like it the way I do it, then he can do it himself. No, no, ma'am, cousin. That's not how that works. Okay. That is not conducive to a healthy marriage. And I'm gonna tell you something, and pray about it. If it's not your situation, pray about it. But I'm gonna tell you something that makes it easier for me to do those things for my husband. My husband doesn't mind going an extra mile for me. Like, where did he come? He came from somewhere. He came from somewhere and it was late. Don't do my boo. He don't got mismatched socks. All his socks is matched in the drawer, girl. Okay, thank you. He came home from somewhere late and he came home with food. Now, I am a person that has to drink when I eat. Like, I like to have my meal and my sweet tea, and I drink while I'm eating. To me, it's the whole experience, okay? I don't like to have my food and no drink. So he came home late. It was like 1 something with the food, right? And I'm looking, I'm like, you ain't bring no drink? And he was like, no. Do you know he went back out and got me a drink? He went back out and got me a drink, okay? How do you not want to do more for a person like that? You understand what I'm saying? How do you not want to be more present? And if you're saying, oh, well, my man isn't like that, then you initiate it. You start it. You be the one. Sometimes you have to show a person how to love you. And the resistance is futile. Okay. Well, I don't want to do this. And this is what I'm talking about. You rather be a queen. You rather just sit on your ass and expect this man to come by and kiss your feet and do whatever you want. And when it comes to him and his needs, he can fend for himself. Be gone, peasant. That's how you treat him. And that's not okay. That's why a lot of y'all can't even find somebody to date. Like, you carry that attitude with you through everything, and you think they can't see through that? You think they can't see through that? And I know a lot of y'all are like, yeah, that's so true. We got to show people how to love, respect us. We do. And it's more than just telling a person your love language, okay? Because if okay, gifts are one of my love languages. Gifts is like the top tier, okay? So I had to explain it to my husband. That doesn't mean spending hundreds of dollars. I don't mean big flashy gifts. No, I mean, like, if you go out of town, pick me up a little trinket, something to let me know you were thinking about me. That's what's for. And the only reason I can think that this works for me, my mom, when she traveled, she would always bring us something back. So I don't know, maybe that's why I'm like that. But when you're out, let me know. That's how I know you were thinking about me. Okay. That's just my thing. Gifts and quality time. Yes. And physical touch. Okay. No, I like all of them. Accessory. I like all of them. Okay. But gifts and quality time are definitely like the top 2. All right. So, and here's the thing. And this goes back to the equality argument from earlier when we were talking about the men beating on women. Now you present yourself as this man's equal, but what you can't do is want to be his equal in everything until it's time to pay the bills. You can't want to be his equal when y'all out and about in the street, but then you want him to pay for everything. No, that's not how that works. Ma'am, sis, cousin, if you are independent and self-sufficient, then you should be more than happy to enter into a 50-50 marriage relationship. You should be, because you're equal and you're self-sufficient. But see, what y'all can't do is want to be independent, self-sufficient, equal to a man, and think this nigga's going to provide for your entire lifestyle. Why should he? What is he getting for his blood, sweat, and tears? Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect in this area, but I try as hard as I can to never tell my husband no in the bedroom. I try. look, I don't make it every day. I don't. Sometimes we just be tired. But he gets a lot more yeses. And I know you might be like, well, what does that have to do with anything? If you have to ask what sex has to do anything within your marriage, you are not having enough sex in your marriage. Because I will assure you that if you were giving that man enough sex, you would totally see a different side of him. I don't know why y'all don't understand that. What my husband equates it to me and my shopping habit. Listen, the more money I have in my account, the happier that I am. The more sex that your man is having, the happier that he is. And see, what a lot of y'all will do is y'all sit around not get this man none. And then one day when he come home happy, you want to know what you all happy about. That's because you're not the one making him happy. That's why you're asking these questions. All this time he been miserable with you. Now he done went out there and find somebody to love him, rub on him, comfort him, and tell him all the good things you don't want to tell him. And now you're mad. Ma'am, sis cousin, that was your job. You slacked on the job. Okay? Listen, that keep the man at home. I don't know how many times men have to keep telling you this. But y'all, you the queen. It's all about you. You don't want to listen. Shoot, this ain't just for men. The women need it too. Yes, the women need it too. I have my times, but I'm going to say that the sex part affects them more than it affects us. I honestly could go without it and be okay for like a week. Child, my husband go 2-3 days and it's a whole national emergency. Like, what's going on? In his mind, it's been a whole year. Like, you don't love me no more. That's how they are. We have to accept that. And the problem with not accepting it is that you refuse to use this to your advantage. Ladies, it's not called the power of the P for nothing. You got a whole freaking problem solver right there between your legs, but you won't use it. Okay. And even if it's not the whole answer to the problem, it's a great icebreaker. It is. Get over yourself. I know listen, sometimes me and my husband will have a little disagreement or whatever. We make up and he wants some sex. Now, I could be a dumb woman, a stupid woman. No, we just made up. You're not getting any. You have to do this, this, and this before. But why would I? That's dumb. That is stupid. This man already my husband. We don't learn continuity in relationships. I know I didn't. And I've told y'all this before. This is the longest relationship I've ever been in by far. By far. It'll be 9 years on June the 20th. By far, this is the longest relationship I've ever been in. And it's because I didn't understand continuity. I didn't understand we get in an argument, but it's just a small segment of our day. It doesn't mean that everything else is ruined. And this is what we've got to understand. Y'all got to start compartmentalizing the disagreements, okay? All right, well, we had a little tiff about that. If we resolve it now, great. If not, we'll come back to it later. Hold on, let me read this comment. We got a whole video game, gym, vacation, and buffet between our legs. Y'all better use that thing. I don't understand the holding back of the love and the affection. Gazah, shalom and shalom. Thank you for joining me. I don't understand the withholding of the love and affection. Y'all, and let's keep it funky. Stop acting like that's not what you didn't use to get him in the first place. Some of us who want to be honest. I don't have a problem being honest. Come on. But then you get him, you marry him, and now he's committed to you. He has committed to providing for you, caring for you, loving you. He keep a roof over your head. He keep the car running. And you not going to give him any because what? Ma'am, sis cousin, barring some kind of disaster, there's no reason that your husband should be hearing a no. Look, we're not always going to get along. We're not always going to be the best of friends. Some days you might not like me. Some days I might not like you. But if that man is coming to you listen, boo, I know this is going on. If he's coming to you and willing to talk to you, even if you don't come to the resolution that you want, okay? Or even if you don't come to a resolution at all, even if you decide to, this discussion is to be continued, you still have to maintain the rest of make him want to continue it. Make him want to continue it, okay? Because that's what they need. Men need respect and sex and a clean house. The list of what women need is so much longer, okay? I don't even have time to get into that because I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, women just need love. Love encompasses so much and it's so different for every woman, okay? But for the most part, all men need sex. Especially if you're the only one he getting it from. Come on now. How you take this man out the whole game? The whole game? You took him out the whole game. I know my husband. I'm going to just speak for my husband, okay? He still got women offering him coochie right now today. Not just him, me too. Your wife fine. You can bring her. Oh, your wife look good. I get with both of y'all. So now, am I supposed to sit here and refuse my husband? Yeah, listen. And these hoes don't care. These hoes do not care. They want your man and they willing to do whatever it takes to get your man. There was a comedian that said something and he was like, he said, you cannot, how can I put this? You may not want to orally please your man, okay? But there's a hoe somewhere that will, and he got the hoe number. He knows her, okay? He know her. If he got a job, she probably on a job. That's his work wife. Y'all better stop playing and acting like these men ain't the prize out here, okay? Hold on. Maya, shalom, shalom. Thank you for joining me. Y'all gotta stop acting like these men ain't the prize out here. And hear me. I'm talking to my women. I'm talking to the women. I'm not talking to the men. Okay. So this is not about, well, he got to know I'm the prize too. No, it's not. Who gets the reputation for being a spinster? Who's called an old maid? If a woman is 30, 40, not married, doesn't have any kids, people look at her and their first question is, what's wrong with her? Men don't get that. If a man is 30, 40, no kids, he's a catch. He's like, ooh. Nobody's looking at him like, ooh, what's wrong with him? Not at all. Chris Rock said that in his comedy. Okay, was it Chris Rock? I thought it was Cat Williams. I don't remember who it was, but okay. I'm not worried about that. I'm in polygyny. Okay. All praises for that. Okay, look. This is what you can't neglect. You can't neglect that man's needs. And then what's so funny is you'll neglect his needs and still want him to meet yours. And that's not, he don't want to love on you. He don't want to rub on you. He don't want to buy you nothing. He don't even want to get up and go to work because he can't figure out what is the purpose. And I know what y'all might be saying, oh, he loves me. And, that should be enough. No, that's not enough for a grown man. No, that's enough for your parents because they birthed you, But for anybody else, no, that's not enough. Because here's what you don't realize, okay? Everything that you're not willing to do, there's somebody out there that's willing to do it more and better. And I've heard stories, okay? I've heard stories. I know right now today, my husband can call somebody up and she will be more than happy to do whatever he wants and then some. I'm not crazy. I recognize this. I know this. Okay. And well, why would you know that? How could you know that? How does that make you comfortable knowing that? Because my faith is not in me. It's not, I don't depend on myself to keep my husband at home. I don't depend on myself to keep him focused and happy in our marriage. I depend on the Most High for that. I don't know no other way to explain it. I have no control over his heart. I am my physical self. Sure, if I wanted to go out here and act crazy, yeah, I could. But at the end of the day, the way he feels about me, yes, it is partly me, but it's mostly the Most High and his commitment to the Most High, his commitment to his word, and his commitment to family. That's what it is. Okay. And see, it's layered though, because in saying that, that doesn't mean that you, wife, can sit back and say, oh, well, I don't have to do anything. He committed to me, he married me, and that's it. And I'm going to say, for those of you who are in polygynous marriages, you still got to uphold your side of that bargain. I would imagine that now you're not only affecting you and your husband, you're affecting your sister wives as well, because he's walking around with an attitude. And now everybody got to deal with that. You messing it up for everybody. Either way, if you're monogamous or if you're polygynous, you're a wife. That is one of your main jobs. I'm sorry. I know nobody wants to accept it. Nobody wants to like deal with it. Oh, it's so belittling. Is it? Why is it belittling to be the weaker vessel? Why do y'all take that weaker as a bad thing? I don't. Yes, I'm the weaker vessel. Help me, damsel in distress. I don't want to be strong. I'm not made for that. Have y'all been, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I lived in the North as an adult, okay? And in the North, there's a very diverse makeup of the diaspora. You're more likely to run into more Caribbean, South American, Israelites than like somewhere like Atlanta, where it's basically Americans, right? So when you are dealing with the men of different parts of the diaspora, you get to really see, um, I'm gonna say what a woman's role is, okay? Because let me tell you something, them men, they don't play that. You're not raising your voice at them and think they're gonna stand there and tolerate it. They'll walk away from you if they don't know you, and even worse. I've had professors in college tell me, um, I would never have my wife associating with Black American women. Y'all talk too much. You don't listen. You don't know how to be a good woman. Y'all are whores. Okay. So we here in this landmass of the United States, unfortunately, have had such a job done on our mental state that we can't see the blessing in being the weaker vessel. Okay. Yeah, I love them. They're more like what it should be in a marriage. I don't know, girl. I listen, I don't sometimes I don't know about all that. Pittsburgh. Okay, yeah, you know, in Pittsburgh, you absolutely know. Okay. And see, a lot of people down here, when you try to tell them that down here, they think that, you know, I'm making it up or I'm talking crazy. But no, it's really like that. Thank you, sis. Thank you. So you, and that kind of shows you like how messed up we are, because honestly, these men's attitude, it's biblically sound. They're the head, their woman submits, she's the helpmeet. It's biblically sound. But we've gotten so jacked up, and I hate to say this even more in the Black church, we've gotten so jacked up to where we feel like the woman is the head and the man is going to follow behind her with the children, like the Rihanna and ASAP Rocky cover that everybody was in such an uproar about. But this is literally what we're being taught as Black women. We talk about the examples on television all the time. Black men constantly being disrespected. Haitian, I'm sorry, I was reading this comment, that's why I said that. But no, no order in the household. My friend is Haitian, and their mother and father more like what the Bible says is correct. And right, yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, we just get so jacked up over here. And even those of us that were in church, we're taught this female-led, emotional type of thinking, and that's not what the Bible says. If we were to be taught according to the Bible, we would have been told that your feelings don't matter. It doesn't matter what you want or what you think. The Most High is the head of Christ. Christ is the head of man. Man is the head of the woman. And that's on period. And I don't understand why y'all are in such a feel such a need to be at the front of that line. I love that I have three heads over me. That's 1, 2, 3 that you gotta fight before you even get to me. Are you kidding me? I'm safe down here. Okay, not saying that I don't go through things spiritually. That's not what I'm saying at all. Okay, and I'm not saying that I don't have my own prayer life. Absolutely, yes, I do. Okay, but I know that when 2 or 3 together, I know that a three strand cord is not easily broken. So I know I'm gonna go get my backup. I'm not even gonna try to. Not today, Satan. Not today. Hold on a second. I got something for you. I'm going to go tell my husband. You know why I don't have a problem telling my husband? Because I know I'm in good standing with him. Okay? I'm in good standing with him. And then you know why I can go to the Most High with no problem? And it's why a lot of y'all don't have a prayer life, don't want to pray, can't get a prayer through. Because y'all know y'all disobedient and you know you out of order. The Most High is not the author of confusion. You not going to come to him if you're not right with your husband. It talks about in the Bible how if a man is not treating his wife fairly, there's really no need for you to even pray. You need to get that right first. And the same thing goes for us wives. How dare you think that you going go to the Most High and you all out of order? How does your mind even allow you to do? How is your conscience even clear? I can't. I'll be sitting there mad. I will be so mad. And I'm like, oh, I want to pray. But if I know I did something wrong, I can't. When I know I'm wrong, all I can say is, Lord, fix my heart. Fix my heart. Help me fix this. And now I got to go about setting this right before I can even go and pray. But here's the thing. When I know that I'm not egregiously wrong, and I'm not saying that I'm always right, but when I know that I'm not purposely and egregiously wrong, now I can go and pray and get some clarity. And even then, you have to be open to hearing what's wrong with you. A lot of you don't want to hear what's wrong with you, even when it's coming from the Holy Spirit. You don't want to accept that you're wrong. And so you will forever be stuck in that forlorn, lonely, desolate, and desperate place that you're in because you don't want to accept the fact that your attitude sucks, that you don't know how to reciprocate respect, that you don't know what love is, you don't know empathy, you don't know how to treat people right. You walk around feeling like everybody owes you something. That is a lie from the pits of hell. And that is a lie that this media will keep telling you that, oh, the Black woman is a goddess. And, you know, we all owe our lives to Black women. Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. Please understand that the only reason they're trying to uplift you is so they can degrade your man. Please understand that the only reason that they're so happy to send you to college is so they can send our men to prison. Please understand that. There is no uplifting, no adoration, no fake love that is going to come from this world without an ulterior motive. Ma'am, sis, cousin, if you're not uplifting my man, you ain't got nothing to say to me. And that's how we all need to be. If this world cannot respect the Black man, don't hold me up as your poster. I am not your goddess. I am not anything. In fact, I despise you. This is where I come from. We all want to act like, oh, we came from a woman. Yes, now physically in our natural state, we all come out of a vagina. But who was first? Did God pick Eve up out the dust and then decided that it wasn't good for her to be alone? That is not what happened. He made Adam first and said, Adam needs some help. Adam needed the help, not us. And this is what y'all need to get through your head. I don't understand this. We get so caught up in this this crap that society keeps feeding us to the point that we're neglecting our husbands and our sons. But we need husbands and sons to protect us. When these people come in here kicking you, listen, you think World War III is not real? And then you had the audacity to think that this is not about the Israelites? If you go back throughout history, it's all about us. It's all about us. It's all about oppressing us, keeping it hidden who we are. That's what it's all about. That's why the world is in the uproar right now, because, oh, shoot, these people are figuring out what's going on. And y'all still refuse to accept it. Even with the information in front of you. And even when Black men have broken down their ego and broken down their shell and been honest with us and come and pour out their soul to us and tell us, like, listen, this ain't fair. They doing this to us. They doing that to us. But you don't care. As long as you can go get your degree and go on your girls trip and take your wedding pictures, you don't care. You don't care about the plight of the Black family as long as your Black family is good. But see, what you don't understand is your Black children have to go out here and marry someone. And I don't know about y'all, but I want my sons to marry Black women. So it is in my best interest to try my best to uplift the Black family so that my sons and my daughters have a decent chance of going out here and meeting a Black man or a Black woman to make their husband or wife, and to continue the upward mobility of our generations in our family. It's not, no man is island in and of himself. No, everything that you do affects other people. And this is why I hate that we are just so individualistic. We used to be a tribal people. We used to be about community. We all used to live together in tents. I mean, do you not read the Bible? And so now we become these individuals feeling like, it's just about us and what we want, and what we want is just important, and nothing else matters. This is freaking capitalism, man. Freaking capitalism. Okay. The dollar is the bottom line. And so now we live in this every man for himself, dog eat dog society, where everybody is just worried about getting the next dollar and not worried about, anybody else's feelings or anything like that. And again, we don't see other races of people suffering with these problems, only us. It's us. When you go to these statistics about single mother and men in jail, who is it the most about? It's us. We'll sit there and watch this movie and deny what's happening right in front of us. And I can't for the life of me understand. And yes, Black women, I'm taking y'all to task on this, because y'all the rulers, right? Y'all the queens. Y'all the ones out here making the decisions. International Women's Day, Women's Month, woo, woo, woo. And where has that gotten us? Absolutely where? Do they even call Kamala the vice president? I mean, really. I'm not saying she's one of us, but I'm just speaking of the women thing in general. Like, y'all will buy this femininity. Y'all buy femininity hook, line, and sinker. And then wonder why don't nobody want you. Let me explain something to y'all. If y'all really look into these radical left-wing, this current wave of feminism, because I know they talk about different waves of feminism. And, feminism just started out as women wanting equal rights to men. Now, I'm going to go as far as to say that just like integration, feminism did not work for women. It didn't work for women. Not to condone, and this is not about anybody being beat on or anything like that. And see, that's the thing when you have these feminism conversations, that's what people want to go to. Well, women were getting beat on, women were being abused. Not everybody. Not everybody. Not everybody. No. And even with that, it's never been the black man in a position to oppress women as a whole. A black man never told a woman that she couldn't have a bank account. That wasn't black people rules. Black man never told a woman she couldn't have a job. That wasn't black people making those rules. That was the Anglo-Saxon patriarchal governments. Okay? The stress heavy on the Anglo-Saxon, okay? That was never a black people making those laws. So for black women you're basically piggybacking off someone else's battle. And it really sucks. It sucks. It's like what they did to us in the civil rights movement when the eligibility community decided to piggyback on our civil rights movement, and now it's all about them. Black women have decided to piggyback on this feminism movement, and now it's all about black feminism. And so here's the thing, right? We want to say, well, white women started feminism, them white girls is getting married. Them white girls is coming out of college with rings and wedding plans. They are having babies and raising their families. Okay? So we are the ones that are suffering from it. And we constantly fall for their crap. They give us the culture and we accept that like that's who we are. To them, do you see what they paint our culture as? A bunch of city girls and city boys too, if y'all catch my drift, okay? That's what they paint our culture as. And instead of us saying, no, we're not like that, we'll accept that, swallow it, and then go on to live it. And here's a thought that occurs to me a lot, okay? Jamil, shalom and shalom. Here's a thought that occurs to me a lot, and I'm guilty of this too. This is something that I have repented for, continue to repent for. When you yourself begin to live a life that is contrary to the Bible, there are people watching you. There are people watching you, and there are people that will follow your path, okay? And I know, we turn our lives around, we repent, we turn our lives around, and we're forgiven. Cool. But what about them people that was watching you before? Do you not feel the obligation to them? I know I do. I try my best to cry loud and spare not. I feel an obligation to those people because even in my sin, I knew better. We can't, and then this gets to affecting our children because a lot of us don't deal with our issues. And children are totally innocent. They don't understand. They don't know you're tired. They don't know you're stressed. They don't know what it's like to work. They're kids. So, but you come home and you take your stress out on them. You take your attitude out on them. You make them feel like they owe you something for being here. And then you wonder why they run away. You wonder why they don't want who wants to deal with you? You can't even get a grown man to deal with you. You can't get a grown man to deal with you. So why would your kids want to deal with you? It's not different. I know, and that's two different things. Yes and no. Yes and no. When it's one or maybe two people, okay, maybe it's just them. But when it's everybody, no, ma'am, sis, cousin, you gotta start looking at you, and that's what a lot of us don't want to do. 10 people will be lined up saying, hey, you did this to me. I didn't really appreciate that. And instead of us saying, I messed up, let me figure out how to fix this, we'll blame them for having a problem with the wrong that we committed. That is not going to work. You can't get anywhere if you won't accept responsibility for your past. And even in this message, accept responsibility for your messed up attitude. Accept it. Repent. Lord, I'm sorry. I've been out here trying to be equal to a man and I'm not. Even in your singleness. Listen, I don't understand some of y'all being single and having a problem getting things done. I don't get it. You should be, I saw something about single mothers, and if you're trying to date a single mother, then you should offer to pay for the babysitter. And I had to honestly think about that one because the men were in an uproar. Like, why I gotta pay for the babysitter? They made my kids da 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 da. I'm going to say, as far as my recall, I never had a problem getting a man to offer to pay for the babysitter. I never had a problem with that. But again, vet these niggas on the phone. Like, this is what the phone conversations are for. Y'all want to meet a nigga and go out the same night. Skirt, hold up, buddy. I need to know a little bit more about you. Y'all skip that part. Vet these niggas on the phone. I told you, when you planning the date, what do I need to bring? If he says anything other than you and your smile, then reconsider that. Reconsider that. Think about it. I think it's a nice gesture, but also not required. I think that's a personal decision that every woman's gonna make. I'm not gonna say that it's blanket required. I'm not gonna say if you're a single mom, you shouldn't date a dude if he don't want to pay for the babysitter. I'm never gonna say that. I don't know. I know I've been married for a while. And my kids haven't been that young. Like, even when we got married, well, my mom was there, so I'm just trying to remember. It was so long ago. So, like, when my kids were young enough for me to need a babysitter when I went out on dates. And I know men are different now, you know. So I'm not sure how it goes. I'm not gonna pretend to know like the current dating atmosphere or temperature or whatever. But I as a woman don't see what the problem is with that. Like, if you're taking me out already, I guess it just depends on the man. I think it just depends on the man and his intentions, maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna say it's not blanket required, but I never had a problem with that. I don't know. So anyway, what was I saying? Single mother paying for the babysitter. I forgot where I was going before that. Okay, but if we keep our women from marriage, then we don't have to discuss paying for a babysitter for kids that's not his. Fact. My husband coming through with the truth. Okay. So the main thing I wanted to bring home again, there cannot be two rulers. You cannot be a queen looking for a king. If you just can't be. You can't. Monologue is the head of the house of Mono. I'm not. He's the king. That's it. Yes, I'm his wife. I'm his help me. I'm here. But the Most High isn't going to judge me about what goes on. He going to judge him. Even about me a little bit. You know what I mean? The things that he may have slacked on when it comes to correcting me. He has to answer for that. I don't have to answer for why I didn't correct him. I don't have to answer for his attitude. even in this earthly realm, when he go out there and act up, it does not weigh as much on me as it would if I was out here wilding. When you have a good man and the woman is out here wilding, acting crazy, cheating or whatever, people tend to feel sorry for the man. That, oh, he don't deserve that. That evil hoe. You know what I'm saying? He gets sympathy, he gets compassion. You know, it's like, oh, she doing you so wrong, blah, blah, blah. But roles reversed, okay? And the what did I say first? The husband, okay, good husband, the woman is acting up. Okay, but now if you got a bad husband and you're a good woman, I'm trying to gather my thoughts. No, that's not where I wanted to go with this. Scratch that analogy. Because yeah, scratch that analogy because I'm not sure I'm not sure how to explain it using that analogy. But the man acting up. Okay. Got you. So, okay. Thank you, Leah. When a woman acts up, it is seen as a breach of this man's everything, his security, his home. Like, it's an invasion when your wife is out there cheating. That's an offense. That's personal, right? But if your man is out there, now that's different, okay? And I'm not getting into the, you know, okay. You saying it backwards. A man is looked at badly if his wife is wilding. Okay, yes, thank you. Yes, honey, you're right. Okay. So, what I meant to say was if you have a woman and a man is out there being wild, she gets the sympathy. Oh, he's chewing you so bad, da 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 da. But when the woman is out there wilding and the man is out, people are looking at that man like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why are you letting you know what I'm saying? I had it backwards. I'm sorry. People are more likely to look at this man and question his whole life, his whole manhood, his whole everything. Because why are you letting this woman that you've taken as a wife? I think we're forgetting about. He took you as a wife, okay? You're not his sister, you're not his girlfriend, you're not his cousin, you're not a jump. He took you as his wife, his helpmeet, an exact representation of him. He told God and his family that he wanted to be one body with you, but you out here giving your one body to everybody else. And this is what y'all don't understand. See, and I think this is a problem with us moving away from agriculture as a way of life because we don't see these real life examples. But as people who grow our own food, I understand the concept of earth and seed. Okay. While I can go out and buy more soil, I cannot go out and buy another lining for my uterus. I cannot go out and buy another cervix. I cannot go out and buy another vagina. Okay. Once that has been tampered with, that's it. All right. And now your husband done got it to where he like it. He done tilled it. He done hoed it. He done watered it. He done fed it. He done fertilized. He done did everything else. And now he got you good. You're great. He's got you right where he wants you. Everything is awesome. But then you go out and let another man till that ground, hoe that ground, water that ground, put his seed in that ground. Why would he want you back? Even the Bible says that the land is polluted. Why would you go back to that? I can't with this example, but because when you like, okay, up north, they used to, when they talk about moms, sometimes they would say your old earth. That's, Wu-Tang. If you ever listen to Wu-Tang, them especially will refer to the mothers as the old earth. And that's real. We are the soil, the children, the seed implants in us. It grows in us. Just like outside in my garden. We went out there, we worked the ground, we put the seeds in there, and now it's gonna sprout. But if somebody else comes in my garden and disturbs my plants and puts their seed there, I don't know what this is. This is not what I asked for. And see, let's go further because I know a lot of y'all don't respect, acknowledge, or understand the fact that when you let a man put himself inside of you, he's leaving his spirit there with you. And that's something that no condom is going to save you from. You as a woman, even the physiology of sex, you have to open your legs. You have to lay down. You have to let your guard all the way down to have sex. I know some of y'all be like, well, I don't take off him. You're still letting him inside of you. Think about it when you let somebody inside your house. If you don't want them in there, they're not coming in there. They're going to have to fight you. But you let them in there. So imagine your husband come home one day and there's another man there. You expect him to stay? Do you? That's not even biblically sound. Like you have no. And it's nasty. It's totally anti-Bible. The Bible speaks against this. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like this is not even the principle, the thought behind it is not something that we can continue. Okay, I don't know why I went off on that little rant. My bangs is acting up, y'all. I'm sorry. The reverse of the camera. So I just want to leave us with this thought that leave the things of the world to the world. Okay? Leave the things of the world to the world. If the women in the world want to be queens and thoughts and whores and city girls, let them be that. You are not after the things of this world. You shouldn't even be after a man of this world. Your heart should be set on finding a man of the Most High. Finding a man of the Most High, being his helpmeet, and following him. And something me and my husband were talking about today. It's hard to be in a good marriage when you're a Black woman. When there aren't good marriages around you, or when your family does not come from good marriages, it is hard to try to have one. You're not likely to get support in that. You're not likely to have the other women in your family congratulating you, supporting you for committing your life to your family and your children. You will be called names. They will tell you like, oh, you're dumbing yourself down and you could have did so much more with your life. But what's more than building something with my husband? What's more than that? The problem I had when I was working for somebody else is my name wasn't on this. A little measly paycheck, because once I got to be supervisor, I was able to go through the finances and see how much is charged for each procedure, how much the insurance is paying, how much the doctor is making every day. And then I see my little penance. And it didn't feel good. It did not feel good dedicating 12, 13, sometimes 14 hours of my day to someone and something that will have no memorial of me when I leave. If I go back to that job right now, there are people there that I don't know. The doctor is still there. It's his place. His name is on it. But the employees, I don't know them people. That bothered me. Putting so much of neglecting my family, putting so much of my life into something that was somebody else's. But the world will tell you that this is more. The people who don't know better around you will tell you that going to punch a clock and making someone else's name great it's better than living. You're gonna have to live different for a few years. It's gonna take some years. You're building something off the ground. It's gonna take some time. And trust me, those times are gonna get hard. You ain't gonna want to be around people. I don't like being around people when my finances ain't right. If I'm broke, I ain't going over. I don't want to do nothing. Okay, but when you're going through them years, you're gonna have to. You know what I'm saying? You can't hide from the world. And during those years is when you have to hear the comments. And even after that, even once you've reached a point of success, even when your house is bigger than everybody else's, you still have to deal with people having negative opinions, not understanding how your marriage is working, not understanding how you working your role, how you just gave up everything to follow this man and have his children. It's hard. There's hardly support for us Bible believing women, wives who are trying to live according to the Bible. You're not going to find a lot of support out here in the world. You're not. It's hard. There's no music that plays when you make the right decision. Okay. Nobody gets up and claps for you. There's no trumpet. There's nothing when you make the right decision, even when it doesn't feel good. Like I'm going to tell y'all right now, we are on this cleanse, this like 21-day cleanse. It don't feel good. It don't. Like I just want to go and make me some rice. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't feel good, but I know it's for the better. So I gotta put my blinders on. Like my mom and husband tell me all the time, put them blind. You know how they put the blinders on a horse? He used to tell me this all the time. You know how to put blinders on a horse to keep them looking ahead so they don't look to the left, they don't look to the right, they just move forward? That's how you gotta be. You gotta put your blinders on, and you and your husband and your kids, or you and your kids, or whoever it is right now, put your blinders on toward the Most High for the prize. Okay. That's the prize you're keeping your eye on. Pleasing the Most High. First and foremost, Lord, I want to please you in everything. Everything. If that's not your thought, that's not your foundational thought, then we need to rewind and go all the way back to the beginning. That's your foundational thought. Lord, I want to please you in everything. Okay? Yes. Count it all joy. Exactly. Okay? And so once the goal in your life becomes pleasing the Most High, it gets a little bit easier to ignore the naysayers. It's never going to be easy, especially when it comes from people you love, um, people you're close to, people you might have used to hang out with, or y'all used to be friends and y'all used to kick. It's not going to be easy, but growth hardly ever is. Okay. But what you will see if you continue on your path to growth is you'll see a reward for that growth. Okay. And, everybody has their own journey. And it's not to come down on anyone else, but once you've grown, you can look back and see, what's going on. Oh, thank you, honey. I forgot we started off. So yes, I do have 4 minutes left. Okay, thank you, babe. You can look back and see the separation and the difference now. You know what I mean? You can see your hard work and your effort and your struggles all paying off. So keep that in mind, please. Of course, like everything else, we're going to talk about this some more because I really feel like this is something we need to hone in on. We need to work on finding our right position in life. We are all out of whack, all out of order. We grow up thinking that, we're supposed to be the head. We're supposed to be in charge, and it's our life and our destiny to write. And once you find out that that's a lie. It's not your destiny to write at all. It's the Most High's order for you to follow. Okay? And that's where we need to be. Okay? That's where your mind has to be. If your mind is not on the order of the Most High, if your mind is not in the word, if your mind is not on improving yourself, You don't need to be dating anybody. You don't need to be talking about getting married. Marriage should be the farthest thing from your mind. If you're not cool with being alone, you shouldn't get married. Because the thing about marriage is just because you're married, your spouse is not always going to be with you. There are going to be times when you're alone. My husband travels, he works. And if I wasn't cool with being alone, then now I'm looking for other sources of entertainment. If you understand what I'm saying, and I know you do. Okay. So that's something else too. Like you got to be cool with being alone. Sometimes I'm too cool with being alone. But you got to, you know what I'm saying? You got to be cool with being alone. Oh, Drew Mills, I'm going to put my Cash App up here. I'm going to put my Cash App up here. And please, if you feel led to sow a seed at all, please, you could drop it in the Cash App, $, the wife of Mono. Okay, I have to go. Oh, I got less than a minute left. I'm so sorry. Sorry for the late start today, y'all. We was having a little technical difficulties. Thank y'all so much for joining me, for hanging out with me. Mahaya, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Thank you. Listen, I appreciate everybody. I appreciate your comments. Leah, my boo, that is my girl right there, y'all. That's my friend in real life. Angelina, Drew, Mahaya, Lonnie, thank you so much for your interaction. My wonderful husband, on behalf of everyone at the House of Mono, we thank you. We love you. I appreciate you. I will see you here next Thursday, 8 o'clock on YouTube and streaming on the Nasaya TV app. So if y'all want to watch me on TV, you can. Okay, NASIYA.TV. I got 9 seconds. I love y'all so much. I'm out of here. Shalom and shalom and good night.
Look at you, you done came up. Get it how you live, Mr. Game up.